Hello, guys, and welcome to Music News Blitz, powered by SIP Media Solutions. I'm your host today, Will Gardner, and I'm joined by one of our incredible writers, Nisha Cullen. Um,
Hello.
Today, we'll be focused on one of the articles that Nisha's actually wrote. So, we'll be looking at the idea of offline listening and almost the ownership of music and how that's kind of grown over the past couple of years and almost what has influenced this. So, Nisha, I just want to get your initial thoughts. How do you think like this changes came about within our generation?
So I think there's a few different factors that have played into it. Obviously, social media is a huge thing. So when you see someone online do it, you're like, wait, I used to do this when I was younger. I know when I was younger, I used to have a Barbie MP3 player, and it was so cool because you could like click off the case and it had like different outfits and different hair for the Barbie. And then I had an iPod a bit later. And I think when you see someone kind of showcase that on social media, you're kind of like, oh, I used to do that. I could do that again if I wanted to.
Yeah,
As well, it's kind of to do with streaming platforms. You know, you have controversies with like different streaming platforms, and people kind of wanting to stray away from that. Um, Again, there's a lot of trending, kind of like the Y2K trend, and that's what
yeah,
we used back then. And as well, there's sort of kind of a more intentional listening and kind of wanting to disconnect from your phone or your laptop or wherever you listen to your music. And it's kind of wanting to listen to music just to listen to music and not having that kind of busyness of like pop-ups or Spotify saying, oh, we made this playlist that you want to listen to. And it's just kind of like, well, maybe I just want to listen to music and not
yeah.
have to worry about all of this other stuff.
Yeah, I think certainly on your last point, I think certainly one of my New Year's resolutions is just disconnect from my phone when I can,
Mhm.
because sometimes like the idea of being online all the time, it it can be very overwhelming. So I think for
Mhm.
myself, I'm trying to certainly this year is just stray away from that, and I think like having these other alternatives where I can still listen to music without the need of this like a random song popping up or a random advert. I think the idea
Yeah.
of that is just became really enticing to me. So it's like I remember recently I was on a flight home and I before any sort of plane ride or train ride, I'll always download an album just so I can like truly just like I'm there with my thoughts and this piece of art, like this body of work just being told to me. And I always use those moments to just focus on the music. And I'm not sure if you do that too, but it's certainly like those moments I find to disconnect.
Yeah, I've definitely been trying to do the same recently. I started like a little challenge for myself where I spin a wheel with 500 numbers on it, and I look at the Rolling Stones 500 greatest albums, and then whatever number it gives me, I listen to that album. And a
Yeah,
lot of the time, it's stuff I would never really listen to because I think I kind of have a developed music taste and it is quite varied, but I've gotten really comfortable with that. And I'm like, well, there's stuff out there that I don't know about. And I've even found, I think I've done 10 of them so far, so not even that many, but I've discovered artists that I haven't listened to. And I'm like, this is actually really cool to listen to an album because it's kind of how an artist intended it to be listened to as a body of work instead of like picking and choosing, oh, I like this song, don't like this one. And it's just kind of take in an album as an album.
yeah. I think it's really, especially when we're coming into like this almost new age when we're fully coming into like the streaming era of music in a way. And with artists like just picking a song after song. I think a lot of artists nowadays, and I get quite scared when there's a new artist up and coming, of they just try to keep making hit after hit after hit,
Hmm.
rather than like a full, like concise body of work that an album is. So I do get a bit scared for some upcoming artists in case they just try to make like hits after hit because they know that will do well in this like streaming era of music. Whereas like it won't really be remembered for its artistry and just be remembered for its numbers and the statistics that it pulled in, rather.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that has to do with TikTok and the TikTokification of music. And it's like, oh, this bit can go viral, so let's work really hard to get this section of the song really viral, not care about the rest, and just want it recognizable. Where, you know, back before this was a thing, you kind of had, an artist kind of putting everything into their music, where a lot of people just want virality these days.
Yeah, I think I've certainly noticed that there's always people, say if a specific audio goes viral on TikTok, you'll be like, oh, I wish the rest of the song sounded like
Mm,
this, or I wish this would happen because it is just focused on this part, or people, I don't know whether like not attention spans, but like just TikTok as a whole has changed how our brains function. So people are like, oh, I only want this bit, not the entire song and how it develops and changes over time.
mm-hmm. 100%.
But yeah, so like the idea of owning music, I think it's really good for the community as well. Like like recently I checked out like local independent store, and I think that was really nice to see kind of his impact because he's had this store since the 1970s.
Wow.
And so he's kind of seen like the highs and lows of physical media. And so I think seeing him and speaking to him, and he was talking about how younger generations are starting to come in, almost like that Y2K, like people almost searching for this aesthetic and almost like this alternative way to just get away from social media at times. So
Hmm.
I think that was really interesting to do. This idea of ownership as well. Um, like you referenced it with Spotify. Um, you kind of, I remember you said it in the music roundup, is you almost just borrow the music
Yeah.
from them. Like you don't act, it's not yours. Like you aren't
So
really
if it were
doing
to go
anything.
down, you wouldn't be able to listen to it anymore.
Yeah. So it's just like if Spotify was to just randomly disappear, what would you have? What music would you listen to?
So I have a very small, I wish it was bigger, vinyl collection.
Yeah.
And I haven't really kind of, put a lot of effort into kind of making it bigger. Some of them I have secondhand, some of them I have bought new, some of them I get as gifts. Um, but my record player, it's not great,
Yeah.
because like with this whole kind of aesthetic thing, people kind of companies made record players to look nice, and they do look nice, but they don't really play that well. Um, and I also have a lot of CDs from when I was kind of early teens because I was really into CDs, and I liked in the car being like, "Oh, can I play this?" and I'd get to play it. I do wish my physical music library was bigger. Hopefully it will be soon. Um, but that's kind of what I have. I really like the look of vinyl. I know the sound of it is amazing as well when it is played on a proper record player. But I just think it looks quite nice as well. Like I do have
Yeah.
mine all displayed.
No, I completely agree. I think for me, I've still got like a limited library. I want to grow it. But I think the effort that artists put into vinyl as and CDs, like sometimes you get a poster with it, or you'll get something that you can use as a memento almost of, wow, I bought this, I own this, and I'm supporting my artist, I'm supporting my local stores that put this out there. And I think on that, what are your thoughts with different variants of vinyls? Because I know it's almost a divide between people who collect music with, is this artist doing too much? Are they having too many variants? But I also think there's a way to look at it of, oh, it's a collectible for the fans. The fans really enjoy having like these different colors and different versions of the album.
Yeah, I think even me personally, I'm quite divided on it because in one way I'm like, that's really cool. And I have certain albums that are would be a limited edition or just have really cool extras added in because of the version that I bought. So I think if an artist can sell it, they probably will because they're going to
Yeah.
make money. And I suppose supporting an artist, why not? It's how music goes around. It's if you love an artist, support them. I
Yeah.
think my main qualm with it is that do you really need that many? So like is it kind of overconsumption in a way to have the same album five times because they're a different color or they came with a different insert? So that's where I'm kind of, you know, is it good? Is it bad?
No, I completely agree with you there. I think sometimes having a different color's cool, but is it too much? And then you see they'll sometimes release the album, but then months later they'll come out with a different version. So people have already bought the original vinyl, and
Mhm.
now there's new versions out, and people are like, well, I want this. It's limited. There's like some people do blood flowing through or like liquids in the vinyl.
Yeah.
Is it cool? Yeah. But I mean, sometimes it can be a bit too much.
Yeah, I think those are definitely more, and I see them kind of used as a collector's item.
Yeah.
So that a vinyl collector will get like I've seen the blood pour through, or Charlie XCX did one with like white powder in it for
Yeah.
Brat. And I think it's very cool, but if you're gonna play that album, you're gonna play the plain black version because it is less rare and you're not worried about damaging it. So it's kind of, I suppose, let people do what they want to do. But
Yeah.
there is kind of, for me, my main concern is the overconsumption and that you don't need the same album 5 times because one is purple and one is pink and one is green. But I still do think it's cool, and I do think limited edition pressings are quite cool. A few of the albums that I own are limited edition pressings. I didn't get them knowing they were. They just happened to be like, I have After Laughter by Paramore, and that's like a marble effect, and it's really cool. I didn't know it was like that when I got it. So I think it's just kind of, yeah, it's just kind of being mindful that, okay, this has to stay with me. It can't end up in a landfill.
Yeah. Like I have bought this. I do own this. I need to take care of it, but
Mhm.
also just not let it go to waste, even if I
Yeah.
have so many versions of this album. And I think, yeah, I have like the same almost not issues, but almost like a turmoil of is it too much? Is it not? And I remember this was a recent conversation I had in class. Um, I think we were talking about how music's listened to, and one of my lecturers said I only purchase my music. And to everyone else, that just came as a complete shock. For most of us, it was like, why do you buy your music? There's streaming services. But she was very much set on saying like, oh, I only buy the music that I want to listen to. Like nothing can distract me from that. And I think that's honestly like a great thing. I might start doing it, but at the moment it's a bit too much money.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
the price of it, especially like vinyl, because I quite like vinyl, it is extremely expensive.
yeah, no, I
So I
completely
think
agree.
me right now, if I really support an artist, I'll consider it. But if I'm just kind of, especially discovering new music, I will turn to a streaming platform because I'm like, I don't know if I like this.
Yeah.
Um, I don't really have the money to be wasting it if I don't like them.
Yeah, and I think almost we can have like this coexistence of streaming and vinyls of a lot of people before they'll buy vinyl, they'll listen to an album on streaming
Mhm.
beforehand because they want to actually like the album that they've bought. And
Yeah,
I think like that's a great way to look at it of just having of knowing that you can support this artist and knowing that there is this alternative other than streaming because streaming doesn't pay well.
no.
But knowing that you can like first listen, you can enjoy the album without not wasting money, but knowing like, oh, it's not gonna go to waste.
And
And
it
then
is
you
an artist
can,
that you do want to support.
yeah. So I think that's a great way of like almost having this coexisting almost like stream between streaming and physical.
I 100% agree because I
Yeah.
think we've gone so far one way that it's impossible to completely cut out streaming. I know I'd be lost without it because I can just carry it around in my pocket.
Yeah.
So say like I travel home to Ireland sometimes, I can't bring like even a portable CD player. It's too big to bring with me. So that's why I kind of feel like streaming is it's accessible, and I think that's the main thing about it.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. And I think it helps with it also helps like newer artists. It allows them to get discovered a lot easier. Whereas if you're in a store, then they're not going to be on the top, like they're not going to be right
Mhm.
in front of the shop. you can use streaming to almost find these new artists. And I think that's the part I enjoy about streaming is just finding new music. Because I know if I go into a store, I won't specifically look out for this artist or this
Mhm.
band. And I think streaming's great to almost help you find new things.
Yeah, I love using the radio on Spotify where I like a song, I'll go into the songs radio and then I find songs like it and then I discover so many new artists that way.
Yeah. So I think that's a great way of almost not having one or the other and just have this almost coexisting world between the two. One of my favorite pieces of like physical media that I own is I have Beyonce's Renaissance here. She is one of my favorite she is my favorite artist and it's one of my favorite albums by her. So I think almost having this just when around so I know I can always use it because the idea of mindful listening and almost actively choosing if I know I'm nervous or I'm not feeling great, I'll know I'll throw this album on and instantly my mood is up. And I'm like, wait, I can do this. So I think that helps me and just having it around permanently. So I think it's really helpful just to have around. I don't need my phone, I don't need anything else. I just need this one physical copy. And it's like behind me. I don't know, you might be able to see it. I've got the poster up. So it's like it's nice just to have in my room as well. It's like a constant reminder of like, wait, I can do this and I own this and I support this. Like I support her. Is there
My
anything like that
favorite,
that you have?
yeah, my favorite is it's Carrie and Lowell by Sufjan Stevens. And I'll be
Yeah.
completely honest, when I bought the album, I knew a bit of his work, but I didn't know this album like very well. But I listened to it and it is 100% the vinyl that I play the most because the music is beautiful and it's just so calming that if I'm ever a little bit stressed, if I'm like worked up about something, I can just play it, close my eyes and listen to it and it's just lovely and it definitely is the piece of physical media that I've gotten my money out of it. Like I've played it a lot.
Yeah. And I think for the audience, I mean, is there like a piece of physical media that you own that stands out to you, whether it's, well, mainly music we'll focus on. But I mean, I think just owning it, I think it means a lot to people, and that's obviously why people collect. Because if you buy something like a CD or a vinyl, it's probably because that album has had like an impact on you and just how you think of things, as well as like the artist and their body of work if you enjoy it. So I think for the audience, is there one that stands out to you that you've bought or you own, that just makes you think like, wow, I really enjoy this. This means so much to me. Thank you guys for listening.
Bye.
Bye bye. I do have a date.
Bye.
Okay, bye bye.